What's up, guys? So you have to forgive me, all I have is my phone today, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. The car is back together for the most part as a roller, like the title says. The motor is in. First official test fit. Everything seems to be clearing fine. Let's see. Motor's in good. I started, obviously you can see I cut off the old tube front. We're going to do a new one with kind of a V-mounted radiator so I can run the Corvette style intake over the front. So that'll be pretty cool. I got the water pump all set up with the Dash 20 AN fittings so I can run the lines to the new radiator. I'm going to do AN lines for the whole cooling system just to kind of alleviate some possible issues down the road. Did the ISR mount kit. Great value. The quality is good. Haven't had issues with anything. Also did the ISR LS to CD09 adapter kit. So that fit pretty good. The only issue is ISR currently only makes the adapter kit for a CD09 into a 350Z with an LS. The mount kit that we got was for an LS with a T56 into an S13. But luckily, one thing I was kind of stressed out about while I was putting everything together was wondering if the trans was going to clear, how it was going to fit, and if the cross member would work or if I'd have to make one. Well, luckily, the cross member, the mount for the T56 bolts up to the CD09 trans. The cross member fits pretty good. I did have to slot the holes a tiny bit to get it to sit where I wanted it, but other than that, everything went together super easy. I do have to clearance the firewall a tiny bit more so I can get the trans to sit up a little bit higher, just to level everything out a little bit more. But other than that, we are golden on the mounting. Going to start on the exhaust next, but I wanted to give you guys kind of an update. So, and kind of a heads up, if you are trying to do an LS with a CD09 into an S chassis, ISR's mount kit for the T56 with an LS will work. You just have to modify the trans cross member a little bit and everything will bolt up fine. Okay, so that's engine and transmission stuff. Next thing I wanted to touch on is I did end up converting to an S14 rear subframe. So got the GK Tech subframe bushing kit to allow me to mount it in S13, and then along with doing that, it fixes some geometry issues. I also did their gusset reinforcement kit on the whole subframe, so that came out pretty good. Everything's nice and strong now. And then the main reason that I wanted to do this was so you can also convert to a Z33, G35, 350Z diff. Not necessarily a whole lot stronger than the stock S chassis diff, but they're a lot easier to find and in good condition. So if this does blow, it's a lot easier for me to just go to a junkyard or even, Facebook Marketplace or something and find a replacement diff. So got the 350Z diff in there, one axle I need to go pick up. The driver's side, I had it, but I had to steal it for my 350Z, oddly enough. So that's how the rear end is setting up. Should be pretty good. I was originally just going to convert to 350Z axles with like the villain stub kit or something like that, but with how hard it is to find S chassis diffs that aren't blown, and I didn't really want to go through putting Q45 diff in because those are hard to find. So the 350Z diff just seemed like the best way to go for what I'm trying to accomplish. Cheap, easy to find, and yeah. Okay, so moving to the top side, you can kind of see what I was talking about with that Corvette intake. The way the radiator is going to sit under there, I'm going to have to V-mount it a little bit so it kind of follows the angle of the filter and everything will clear. But the motor's sitting pretty good. Started on the Chase Bays brake booster delete kit, so need to finish running all the lines for that so I can get all my brakes hooked back up. Then I'm going to be running the Radium Engineering expansion tank. Obviously it's not going to sit like that permanently. This is just kind of get an idea of length for lines and what fittings I'm going to need and things like that. I actually converted the stock pump to AN lines as well. Pulled out the stock hose barbs out and then tapped the water pump So I can fit dash 10 lines off of there. Those are going to go up to the expansion tank, which is going to help get any aeration or anything like that out of the coolant, and then this will go off to an overflow. So I'm going to work on getting that set up. That's pretty much as far as I am on the engine stuff right now. Waiting on a couple things. The radiator I was going to use, I'm not going to use anymore, so waiting for the new radiator to get here. And yeah, coming along nicely though. And something I'm really excited about, which is a little different, but I've wanted to do it for a while. I actually took the stock dash out and got this fit up in there. This is out of a Lexus IS300. Probably not going to use the Lexus gauges, just kind of in there for looks right now. I'll have a digital dash, but yeah, a little bit of trimming, and the cage made it a little bit more difficult, but got it all trimmed out. The shifter location sits pretty much perfect. I'm going to have to trim the console to clear the handbrake, obviously, when I put my hydro back in. But other than that, it is coming along. Gonna have to pull that back out so I can redo a bunch of wiring, get that all set up. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in the middle here. I have a pocket, or the little like dash pocket for that coming. So that top section will be filled. I'll probably get rid of the factory climate control from the Lexus. Obviously I don't need it for anything. And then just make a panel that covers that whole center section so I can have my battery kill switch. I'll probably move my switch panel from up on the cage, move that down to the center, and just anything else that I won't have on the digital dash will be in the center there, just to clean things up a bit. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've had this dash for a long time and I wanted to do this, just didn't have the time to get around to it, but I think it looks pretty cool. I really like this dash, like the gauge surround. It just looks a lot more aggressive to me, almost kind of like cockpit fighter pilot kind of esque. So yeah, I'm really excited that I got it to fit. Trimming wasn't too bad. The front curve is different on a S chassis than it is on the IS, so had to make that fit, and then obviously trim out for the cage. But yeah, it's getting there. So sorry this isn't really that much of a video for you guys, but I wanted to update you a little bit on what's been going on with everything. You know, the world's crazy for everybody right now, so I'm just trying to get by and do what I can. Been pretty busy at the shop, so keeping up with that and trying to film stuff to upload has just been, it's been pretty hectic. I do have a couple of videos of some of the motor work that I did, so I should have those up pretty soon. And then got some 4Runner stuff coming up, cab mount chops and things like that. So some fun stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more in-depth videos on what's going on with this soon. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this one. I know it was pretty simple and basic, but just wanted to kind of go over a couple of things that I've been messing with. You know, we've been pretty busy and then dealing with all the pandemic stuff and trying to keep the shop open, so been focusing on that. But there will be more content coming soon, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me, and hopefully this thing will be out and ripping before too long. Hopefully have it done by April or so. There's an event that I really want to go to with this instead of the Z, so that's what I'm shooting for. So we'll see what we can do. Thanks guys.